Tonight we're learning more about the feud to revitalize Cleveland's lakefront. Mayor Justin Bibb promised he won't let his plan die on the shelf like others before it.
Now the cost to keep it alive is getting more expensive and challenging. 3 News' Matt Rascone spoke with Signal Cleveland managing editor Mark Namick, who's been following this story closely.
Mark, this week Cleveland City Council criticized Mayor Bibb because they felt blindsided by these rising costs in planning. What can you tell us about this new price tag?
Yeah, council was really upset because they got hit with a new bill, $260,000 more than the original contract called for, which was supposed to just lay out some basic drawings and plans for a new lakefront. And part of the rising cost, it's being driven up by the fact that the owners of the Browns, Dee and Jimmy Haslam, recently said they are considering moving the stadium. The problem? A lot of the drawings already included that stadium on the lakefront. That's a big footprint that they kind of have to reconsider. The city wouldn't say for sure that's what's driving it up, but they said we now have to plan for all scenarios.
Okay. So we've been hearing a lot about a pedestrian-only land bridge from the grassy malls downtown to the lakefront. How is this connected and impacted by the stadium?
Well, that land bridge, as you can see from their drawings that they released this week, was feeding right into the stadium. It's this idea of trying to connect the grassy malls from downtown right into that lakefront. And part of that is taking those fans that would come to a game and getting them over there more safely than traveling over the East 9th Bridge. It's very intricate to that lakefront planning. And now with the stadium moving, that could affect what the future of the land bridge is. They need that stadium to potentially leverage how they might finance some of that land bridge, but that land bridge is in some of the original drawings.
Okay, so we've talked about before that the city missed its own deadline to have a deal in place with the Browns. How should we be reading into this?
Yeah, there's nothing in the lease that expires in 2028 that says the team or the city has to tell the public, what their plans are. But what's important to remember is you have to either renovate, build a new stadium, and you're going to have to go to the public, most likely for them to sign off on a new financing plan. All of that takes time, potentially years. So they have a little bit of time. I would expect to see something by the end of this year.
So, Mark, right now we're in this waiting period, figuring out what's happening with the stadium. In the meantime, who's going to be paying for this?
Yeah, that's the big question. But what we do know is that the Browns have approached the city and said, we want to do a 50-50 split. So if it's $1.2 billion renovation, let's split that. So that'd be $600 million coming from the taxpayers, not all necessarily from Cleveland. If they're building new, that really jacks the price tag, perhaps by $1 billion. And that most likely would require a much larger tax plan, largely around maybe raising the taxes on alcohol and cigarettes that we already pay. That would require a vote of the people, change of the state law. All of that's going to take time, but the thing that we don't know is how much in the end will the team put out for a new stadium, and that could really determine what gets done and what doesn't.
Okay, Mark Namick with Signal Cleveland. We appreciate your time.